Hello everyone! So today we're going to talk about how the hard way is easier than the easy way. And I know that sounds kind of twisted, but I'm going to explain it. My name is Ollie and I'm going to be your teacher for today, or forever, however long you want me to teach you. Anyways, okay, let's get into it. So first of all, why is doing things the hard way easier? I feel like if you do things the right way or how they're supposed to be done, things will get easier and easier as you come, or like as you keep facing the problem, because usually when there's a problem you try the easy way first. Well, at least I do. Let me not speak for y'all, but sometimes, well, an old habit that I had, I would do the most easiest thing possible. And yeah, I would try to figure that out, but then I realized that if I just learn the basics, the foundation of it, my foundation won't be as shaky. It would be here, it would be the moment, it would just be there. I wouldn't have to keep going back to check. I kind of learned this in class too, so if I actually read the books, if I understood it to a point where I don't have to keep being like, what is that, or double guessing myself or second guessing myself, that's when I knew I truly learned. So it's better to master something versus just getting by. So I am going to explain how that works. I already gave you that example, but I guess the most recent thing I've been thinking about is hair. So for a long time, I would kind of just wing it with my hair, and not just like randomly not care, but I would take kind of shortcuts where it was like I didn't want to learn the basics because I was like, I already know how to do my hair, I already know how to do this. But there was a point in time where my hair got really difficult to manage, or I just got tired of doing it. It was always like a hassle, and I was always feeling like it was like an animal that I had to control, and I was like, there has to be an easier way to this. So basically I really researched my hair, and I realized so many things that I've never known before, and I can actually teach others, like I taught my mom. But anyways, I learned that my hair is super fine, but I have a lot of it, so you wouldn't think it's fine. Well, if you look, you can kind of like, it's see-through, so technically you know that's fine. Well, you can see it in the light, but right now it's not that see-through. But once I understood the foundation, it was so much easier. I don't use as many products. I felt like I was just winging it. I would just buy whatever. If it said for curly hair, I would buy it. I wouldn't actually look like extensively at the product. I would just kind of buy it if it's on sale, or if it says one thing. But I realized that you kind of have to take care of your hair and be more there, be more present with everything and intentional with everything you're doing. So with that being said, being intentional about whatever you want is really important, because it makes the hard parts easier if you actually research and take the patience to do stuff. I have another example. So with vitamins and stuff, if you do not have the correct vitamins, something is gonna go wrong in your body. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm really not. But if you notice you're tired all the time, you need vitamin B. If you notice that your skin isn't glowing as much, maybe you need vitamin K, I don't know. But that's why like multivitamins are very important. And yeah, so with that being said, when you go to the doctor, they'll tell you like, hey, you're low on this or whatever, and then that's when you kind of combat it and take whatever to balance it out. And I've heard people being low on iron and their hair starts falling out, and that's terrifying, but it's all connected in your body. So knowing the problem head on is extremely important, and that's why I encourage actually doing the research. How would you do the research? You have to read. Reading is the only way, because if you only circle your thoughts, not saying you guys aren't smart, I think you guys are amazing and beautiful and smart and talented, but there's always something more you can understand and learn. I think life is about constantly learning and learning, because there's so much information out there, so many new things, and sometimes the answer that you're looking for isn't there at the moment, but when you look back, or if you do a little bit more research and you go a little bit further than where you stop, because I feel like we all have a threshold and it's like here. A personal trainer taught me this. basically he was saying it's important, his services are very important because people stop at a certain level because your brain is already like, oh, that's enough, but he'll push you harder. And I thought that was interesting that he said that, because that's how life is. You kind of have to push a little bit harder to find your answers, and you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, how are you going to know to do better if you just keep stopping and stopping and stopping? So I think that if you don't do it the hard way first, you're gonna have to keep coming back to this problem. And I remember during my studying years, I would skip over a problem, or I would see it and I'd be like, oh, okay, I barely solved the equation, or I barely got through it. And I remember it would always come back, and I'd be like, why didn't I actually do it until I couldn't do it anymore? And then another example is basically in school, the Punnett squares. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what that's about. I used to be really intimidated by them because we had to do really, really huge ones, like big ones, rows and rows, and then we would have to do heterozygous. It was a lot. Anyways, I was so intimidated, but then I sat down. I think I worked through it for 3 hours because they would give you little equations and you had to figure out what colors they would produce, whatever. But I mastered it, so whenever it would come on a test, I wasn't scared. I was literally like chilling and writing it, and I would even use colors. I remember pulling out what is it called? The little notebook, not the notebook, what is it called? The pencil case. I would pull it out during tests and just start coloring, because I can focus with colors, but if everything looks the same, it's gonna be so easy for me to mix it up. So that's what I did, and it worked for me. I found a method that worked for me, and I always got 100% on that. And I would really look at the test because I knew that was mostly the percentage, so I would work on things that were the highest percentage, highest points. So when I was studying, I can kind of prioritize the bigger points versus the smaller points, Anyways, now let's talk about how to do this, because maybe it's just not, I don't know, it's just not clicking to it's Justin Bieber. I'm so silly. I just think about random stuff. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so, okay. First thing is first, like I said, you have to study. You have to look for information, and you have to ask, immerse yourself into it. If there's something that is preventing you, there's obviously going to be something that you can do to get you more information, because with anything that you do, it is going to take work. It's going to take work. If you keep cheating around your diet, you're never going to get what you want to get. But again, your brain is so smart and cool. It goes off of patterns. That's just how the brain is. So if you're constantly doing something, it gets used to it. So with diet, when I first started my diet, well, not like diet where I'm trying to lose weight or anything, but like my healthy diet, at first I would crave everything. I still crave sweets and stuff, but I'm very disciplined in my sweets. I barely even eat sweets. Sometimes I'll see things in the store and then the first ingredient is corn syrup. And if y'all don't know, corn syrup is not good for you. And when it's the first ingredient, that means it's mainly made out of corn syrup. I don't want that in my body. So I'll see something so delicious and tempting and I'm like, no, I can't have it. I'll find something else. But honestly, future me is always grateful that I didn't buy it, because it's just not good for you, So with that being said, I feel like having that discipline is extremely important. So discipline is extremely useful when it comes to doing things the harder way, because once you excel in something, no one can beat you. If you want to get competitive, let's get competitive, because when you know, like the back of your hand, you can't fake it. You cannot fake it. Once you're good at it, you're good at it, and it shows. Like, once you have the discipline to do it, it shows. So I would say the second thing is definitely discipline. And then the third thing, to make the hard things easier, honestly, just surround yourself around what you want to be and who you want to be. If you want straight A's, why are you hanging out with people who do not take classes seriously? Why are you doing that? I don't know why you're doing that. Maybe because they're cool, funny, and cute. I don't know. But if you want to change, you kind of have to immerse yourself in whatever you're trying to change. If you want to do your hair better, you have to watch videos, or you have to learn. And even if they don't have the same texture, like mine was literally impossible, guys. Like, let me not say impossible because I figured it out, but mine was so hard to understand just because of it was a mixture of everything. Like my hair is a lot. I have different patterns, different sections of curl, waves, whatever you want to call it, and it's all fine. So I had to treat my hair fine. And again, it does not look fine. But anyways, I had to figure out something that worked for me, and that's when you know you mastered something. So whenever you think about things and you don't really have to think about it anymore, so diet, I literally don't have to think about what's good for me, what's not good for me. I can look at something. I can even look at grapes and know if they're gonna be sweet and juicy. I know. I don't know if that's like a superpower, but I can tell by fruit because I buy fruit so much and so often. I know if it's super firm and circular and just bright, I'm like, that is a good grape. And then I can tell if they look a certain way. I'm like, oh, that's not gonna taste that good, you know? I can do that with a lot of things in the grocery store. I think it's just like an intuition once you pick it up and once you're used to it. But honestly, I think that's just the best feeling because then you don't have to keep going back. I think going back prevents you from learning even more and going forward, obviously. So I think just keep going, try to master things and practice with smaller things, but it's definitely possible. You can pretty much do anything that you put your mind to. You just have to have that discipline. Crocheting, I know how to crochet. That was impossible. Well, I keep saying impossible, guys. Ban that word from me right now, but it's not impossible because obviously I did it. But when I first did it, I shed tears. Like I shed a few tears because it was so hard and I was like, whoa, I really want to do this. My goal was to make an outfit. Like I was so, that was like my tunnel vision, but then I was trying to do it and I was like, I can't do this. But then like a couple of years later, I can measure it on my body and just be like, it's so easy for me now. Obviously, there's some concepts where I'm like, but then I come up with my own things anyways, but I mastered it. So once I mastered it, the world is mine. Anything is possible. So mastering is so much better than just getting by and touching it. And when I think about this, I think about the boys in high school. They would always try to reach at the door. You know what I'm talking about? Like the top of the door, they would try to reach it. That's just like a boy thing. And that's just something how I think about something when you don't master it. When you don't master it, it's almost like there's a club that you can't get in and you're trying to get in and they're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you laughing from outside the club? You can't even get in. You can't even get in the club, so why are you laughing? So it's just kind of like that. It's like you're not even touching it, but the people who are already there and know what it takes and actually did the work to be there, they can tell if it's legit or not. So that's the difference between mastering something and just getting by, okay? So I hope y'all understood and love this. And if you didn't, please leave me comments, message me, whatever. If you want some clarity on anything, I will give it to you. And that is it. And I obviously love you guys so much. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. And yeah, I hope you guys like this. I kind of went on a whim. I kind of just wanted to talk to y'all. I didn't have like a script or anything, or I didn't really brainstorm like I usually do. So I hope you guys like this like freestyle vlog thing that's going on. But anyways, oh, and then my outfit, it's just like a gray. I love gray. I hope you guys liked it too. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Goodbye. See you later.